Hi guys, I wanted to talk to you about something that I'm doing for the Christmas party that I'm going to tomorrow. I have been asked to do a demonstration, like to kind of walk people through the steps of making a card at the holiday party that I'm going to tomorrow. So I want to make it as easy and fun as possible for people to put together a really cute card. So I have put together these steps. This reminded me of my old Stampin' Up! Demonstrator days when I used to make these little kits for Stampin' Up! Parties. So I started off by making this card, which is a really basic card. It's my template card. I think of this as a real no-brainer type of design. I put half pattern paper, half of either another pattern paper, or in this case it's an embossed piece of cardstock with a piece of ribbon running around the middle of it. And in this case I dressed it up a little bit with a punched border on the edge here. And then I have either circles or ovals layered together here, like a scalloped, and in this case I have circles, and die cut, and then just a simple stamped image in the center, and then I used a punch to cut it out. So I chose this design because it's a fairly small group, and at least one of the people there is already a card maker. So I thought I could probably walk people through the steps involved in making this card. And what I really loved about it is that it gave me a chance to show off some of the really cool, fun supplies that are really fun to work with, because that is what's going to hook these people into scrapbooking or card making or paper crafting of some sort, or so I hope. So this is the card, and then I just stamped a little greeting on the inside, and I made kits up that included basically two different color versions of the same card making kit. So I've got a bunch with this lighter yellowy green paper, and then a bunch of kits with the darker green paper. And I'm going to show you what is in each of these kits. So each kit, this is my demonstration kit. So each kit has a unfolded card blank. It's pre-cut and pre-scored. And then a envelope, a card liner for the inside of the card, and then this is the piece of coordinating cardstock that layers on top of the card base, like that. And then a piece of already punched red cardstock that will go down here. And then a piece of patterned paper, like that. So this will go through my embossing folder, and then with my manual die cutter, and then I'll layer these two together like that, and then I will die cut the scalloped circle out of this. So that'll be this right here. And then I will die cut a circle out of this, and then I will stamp the Christmas ornament on here and cut it out with my punch. And then I'll assemble the whole thing and put the ribbon around the center. And I have a set of Stampin' Up! Dimensional adhesive in each kit as well. So I have made up 12 of these kits, and so basically all that I did, I don't have 12 co-workers, but I thought I would make some extra in case anybody feels really enthusiastic and wants to make more, or else I can just bring home the leftovers. So I have 12 of these kits, and basically I just went through each of the components and mass produced them. So I cut 12 card bases, 6 of the light green and 6 of the dark green, 12 of each of the components, and I put them into these clear bags. These are a weird shaped bag that I don't remember why I bought them. I think I bought these when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. They're 6.5 by 9.5. And they're just kind of easy for bringing things in and grouping things. And I also grabbed I also made up some extras of everything in case somebody doesn't like the pattern paper they get or makes a mistake. I have extras of every single thing. And I also just threw in some scraps here for people to make tags if they so desire. So I'm just using the same stamp set and the same punch that I'm already using for the card, so it doesn't involve really bringing any extra supplies. I just grabbed some scraps and I punched a whole bunch of these little tags. I just punched a bunch of these tags, which you punch by basically putting a folded piece of paper into your punch and not punching the top edge of the shape. So I have a bunch of these, and then I also have some demo versions so that people can see the kinds of things that you can make with these. So you could make just like regular tags, or you can punch and stamp and glue another one on top of one of these flippy tags. So I'm going to have that off to the side for people to work on after they're finished their cards, because typically when you have an assortment of people making things, some people will finish sooner than others, and so I thought I'd have another craft on hand for those people who finish sooner. They tend to be the more experienced crafters, so they might want to do something while the other people catch up. I think that this came in the crop bag that I have. I think it came in the bag when I bought it. And I often use it for putting stickers. I think it's about 6 by, yeah, it's a little bit less than 6 by 12, so I often put letter stickers in it. So packing for this kind of event is really similar to packing for a crop, although I sort of have to bring less supplies because I'm only making one kind of a card and one kind of a tag, and the tag is really just an extra thing. But in some ways I'm packing more than you would think because I have to pack multiples of everything. So I will show you what I've packed. I'm bringing 2 die cutting machines, and if I wasn't bringing die cut machines, I could have packed this all in probably this one bag. But I think that die cutting machines are one of the most fun things about scrapbooking and card making, so I definitely want to bring a die cut machine, and I have 2 of them. And from the days when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and used to bring my Big Shot to parties, I found that the lineup that you get at the die cutting machine is something that kind of interrupts with the fun. So since I have 2 die cutting machines, I actually have 3, but I don't want to bring that much stuff. Since I have 2 big die cutting machines, I decided to just bring them both because it will make the process a little bit more fun and enjoyable for people. So I have my Spellbinders Platinum 6 right here, and what was on top of it is my tool caddy, and my tool caddy pretty much just has it's filled with a whole bunch of different tape runners, and they're just all different brands of tape runners that I have had. I have a lot of Stampin' Up! Ones because I used to do like Stampin' Up! Parties, and you can only use Stampin' Up! Supplies for those. But I also have some Creative Memories and scrapbook adhesive and that sort of thing. I really love the Stampin' Up! Snail adhesive, so that's what I tend to use right now, so I had several of those on hand. Then I have a couple of pairs of scissors, some extra glue. Even though I don't really need these for the cards that I'm making, I thought I'd bring them just in case. I have my Wink of Stella for final touches on the card, and I brought 4 white gel pens just in case. Sometimes it is nice to add a little bit of white dots here and there for decorations. I have extra ribbon just in case I forgot something. It's small enough to be able to bring extra, and some washi tape that I really just have to label things maybe, or I don't know, I had the room so I stuck it in there. Then I have a couple of other caddies. So this is my bag in bag, and it holds all of my ink pads. So basically I have 2 different greens and 2 different reds and a gray. So let me show you what's in this. So all of, not a gray, a brown. So these 5 ink pads fit very nicely right in here. Okay, so I took it out so that I could show you guys more properly, I guess. So I have my ink pads right there, and then right beside my ink pads I have my stamps. So most of the stamping comes from this fairly old Stampin' Up! Set. I think it's called Delightful Decorations. So I'm really happy to pull this out of my stash and get to use it again. And then I also have some inside of the card sentiments here, and I have some blocks with some more sentiments already mounted on them, including this one that says handmade with love or made with love, that I thought might be nice to put on the back of their cards so that they can basically pick their own sentiment. They don't have to use the same sentiment that I use. And I think having that choice is fun so that they can make their cards their own. And that's why I cut some extras of the pattern paper too, so that they can make it their own. If they don't like the pattern that came in their kit, they can just switch it with another piece. Then I have 2 Stampin' Clean stations. So I'm bringing 2 of these bottles of mist. And really, I have 2 bottles, so that's why I'm bringing 2. We really only need 1. And then in this other pocket, I have all of the bling that I have to add. Everybody's going to add 3 little pieces of bling to their card ornament. And so I have 2 packages of bling. I have some pearls here too in case somebody wants pearls, because I really don't have as many of the small bling as I have of the big, but then I have these Kaisercraft ones that have some small ones as well. So I brought a little assortment. The fun thing about card making is that you can make it your own, and so if people want to just do the one that I designed, then that's fine, but if they want to add a little bling or change the bling from gemstones to pearls, then that's one way that they can kind of make their own twist on their card. Then in this orange box, I have packed the dies. So I'm going to have 2 die cutting stations. One will have these Lawn Fawn dies, which are, there's a circle, a stitch circle, and a scallop circle. And so I just have samples so that people can see what they look like. And then my other die cutting station has Nestabilities dies. So I have a circle, a scallop circle, and also this flower circle. I thought I'd just stick that in there in case somebody wants to do a little bit of a twist. I pre-punched the red cardstock with these border punches. There's 2 different ones that I used, but I also packed them to come along with me and packed some red pieces of cardstock that are exactly the same size that don't have any borders on them, just in case somebody wants to try out a border punch. That would be, you know, completely optional. Then I have the punch that goes along with the stamp set that I have, and I decided to bring a couple of different options for the embossing folders too. So I chose the snowflake one that I put on my card, but then I also have like a plain dots, and this is kind of a little bit of a chevron-y type of pattern, and then this one is kind of funky polka dots. So these are, I guess, all the tools and die cutting type of items right here. So my next bag that I've packed here is my Stampin' Up! Doctor's bag, which holds my Big Shot and the platforms. I also have the platforms for my other die cutting machine here. I have a Stampin' Up! Garbage container. I also packed my valet trays. I love these because they can pack down to flat, and I thought I would put these on the table beside people for them to put their scraps in. And I also have my 2 Stampin' Scrub stamp cleaning things, whatever those are called. And I only have 2 of those because I bought a bunch of supplies from a crafter who was getting out of crafting, and so I have a bunch of doubles. Then I have my Stampin' Up! Grid paper that I used to use when I was a demo, and I haven't really used it very much since then. So this is really nice because it helps people lay out their cardstock and pattern paper evenly when they're layering things and putting their cards together. And I also brought some foam for people to stamp on, because I find that having some foam pads, I just stole the foam pads out of my Misty tools, and I had a couple of extra ones as well that I use. And I find that because there will be beginners, it's even more important that you try to increase the chances that their stamping will turn out. I also made sure that in my extra scraps that I packed in one of these bags here, that I had lots and lots and lots of extra Whisper White cardstock cut into little chunks, so that if they make a mistake in their stamping, or if they're not happy with the way that it turns out, they can feel free to restamp as many times as they need to get it right. But having a foam pad for them to stamp on really does increase the chances that they're going to like and get the coverage that they're looking for. And then I just included a little box of my own cards that I've made, and I included a variety of cards from different companies. There's lots of lawn fawn in here, and I also included a variety of cards that ranged from fairly simple to more elaborate, so that people could just get a sense of card making and what it's all about. So I am all ready. All I have to do is add a couple of pairs of scissors from upstairs to this tool caddy, and then I'm all ready to go to my holiday party tomorrow and share my love of paper crafting with my colleagues from work. So thanks for watching this video. The reason I decided to share this process with you guys is just to give you ideas about how you might be able to share your love of paper crafting with some of your non-crafty friends. And sometimes the holidays can give you a great opportunity to bust some of those myths that are out there about scrapbooking being really hard, or paper crafting being really hard, or requiring a whole lot of special talent or skills. And so I thought I would share with you guys how I put together these kits to try to maximize my friends' enjoyment of card making and minimize any kind of frustration, to encourage them to maybe take the leap themselves into card making. Take care and have a really great scrappy week.